Welcome to Business Innovators Radio, featuring industry influencers and trendsetters sharing proven strategies to help you build a better life right now.
Welcome to the program. I'm Mark Imperial. Joining me on this segment is best-selling author Violetta Terpeluk, and she's the author of Financial Flow. Violetta, welcome to the program.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Violetta, tell us a little bit about your work and who are the types of folks that you help?
Yes, so I do wealth management, financial planning, life planning, and then also business exit planning. The type of people that I help, they are usually business owners of, say, upper, small, and then lower middle market, like $2 to $25 million in annual revenue, retirees, and some of them are successful professionals. So usually they have complex finances and they're looking for clarity, confidence, and then a well-coordinated plan that's implemented.
So, Violetta, what inspired you to write your book?
Well, so I've been practicing financial life planning, business exit planning for over 2 decades. This year is my 24th years. Through the years, I just accumulated so much experience, reflection, and insight. I feel a lot of things are sitting in my head, and I really want to get out there. I have set a goal that I want to touch hundreds of thousands of lives, if possible, even 1 million lives. But in my work, financial life planning, I can only work one-on-one. And plus, I feel like there's a lot of voice inside me that is not being heard out there. And so when we met, and then you give me the concept of writing a book, even though I had thought about it, you made it seem so simple or like a system that I just had the confidence that, wow, finally I can get my voice out of my head into my book. And finally, even though I may not work with some of the readers of my book one-on-one, I feel like I'm touching their lives. I'm leaving a legacy.
Really great choice, because there's, as I always say, there's no better vehicle for a message than a book, and that allows you to reach as many people as you possibly can. So, Violetta, what is the biggest challenge that you address in the book, and what do you want your readers to take away from your book in general?
Yeah, so if you read the book, I have it in my hand as well. And we talked about it when we strategized, right? So that's why we chose to start a book with the why and the when, and then the what, and then the who and how. I feel like the biggest challenge is that people come to us, or maybe they go on, the internet to search, is that they're always looking for the how or what. But I feel that they're missing the very first essence, which is the why. What is the purpose of your money? What kind of life do you want to live? Should you buy a ticket to, either it's a cruise ticket or air ticket, or you should buy it, but at least you have to know your destination. So through my working with my clients and prospective clients, I just feel like they don't really understand or clarify the why, and then they start doing the how, and then they don't stick to the strategy because they really don't know where they're heading. And that's why we started the book with the why first, and then the when, because a lot of times I ask people, when do you want to retire? I said, whenever I can. I said, whoa, you really need to put a time. So there is a very deliberate purpose of how we structure the book. And then the other challenge, and that's why in the book we also have the who session, right? This is not just a what and how book. We address everything, and then including the who. So the other challenge that I found with clients and prospective clients is that they don't have the right team. They don't know who's on the team, which professionals should serve the team, and then the team is not orchestrated. And then the other is that they are overwhelmed with so many priorities and how many things to do. And there's tax, there's estate, there's investment, there's protection, there's retirement planning, there's debt, and they don't have a rhythm or system, so they get frozen. And that's what the book addresses as well. We break it down into system, right? The flow system, then the indigo system, so that people feel like, oh, this is not as overwhelming as I think. As I follow the steps, I will make some progress and some improvement.
You covered your system really well in the book, but do you happen to have a favorite chapter or something that you're really excited for readers to read?
I think it's the first part. I mean, it's almost every chapter is my favorite because, oh yeah, that sounds really like me. Or this is really, people really need this. I would say the chapter, I think it's the first one that talks about return on investment and return on life, and then how you plot yourself. And that's how I developed the flow system. Flow stands for fulfilling life and optimizing wealth. Whereas a lot of people focus on the wealth, in fact, not even optimizing, just wealth, like increasing wealth. That is the return on investment. In the book, I had even this 2x2 that has the return on life as well, which is the fulfilling life. So then you can plot yourself, am I high and low on return on life or return on investment? What I want people to get to is they're both high on fulfilling life and high on optimizing wealth. In fact, I
Vi-
don't think you can optimize the wealth unless you understand what fulfilling life for you looks like.
Violetta, what inspired you to get into this line of work to begin with? How did you get started?
Yes, I talked a little bit about this in my book as well, or in the author part, it talks about the book. I grew up in Hong Kong, in China, because, I was born in China and then moved to Hong Kong. My parents were entrepreneurs. They were kind of forced into it because they were professors that didn't get recognized in the British system, right? So that's how I grew up. And I learned a hard lesson that my dad didn't build a business to the point that it was sellable. And then he went into 8 years of long-term care. And because of that, all the assets were drained and then they couldn't work. So when I came to the United States, I really wanted to give back and help people like my parents to prevent those problems from happening. And then after I graduated from the Raw School of Business in University of Michigan, I became a consultant for PricewaterhouseCoopers. And serving Fortune 100 companies, yes, great financially, but it wasn't touching my soul, or I'm not touching other people's soul. So 24 years ago, I became a financial planner. To me, it almost feels like consulting, but in a smaller scale. And to me, financial planning, I can see the immediate return in my work.
Before I ask you my last question, is there anything that I didn't think to ask you regarding financial flow that you feel is important for my audience to see?
I would say I already explained flow. The concept of flow is fulfilling life, optimizing wealth, right? In the book, it's organized with our system, my proprietary system called Indigo. So the Indigo is a system, like I stands for individualized path, and then N stands for natural rhythm. D is de-risking, and then the second I is implementation, accountability, and G is goal-based investing, and O is orchestration of your professional team. So I think it will be nice for the audience to know that that how the book is structured. So if you read the whole book, you will get the whole concept of flow, and then you will also get the whole concept of indigo.
Now you got everybody lathered up and really wanting to dig into your book and learn all about that. So, how can folks tuning in right now get a hold of your book, and how do they connect with you?
Yeah, so get the book is quite easy. You get on Amazon, you type in financial flow. So there's a tagline is the art of optimizing wealth and the art of fulfilling life and optimizing wealth. Or you just simply type my name. I believe I'm the only Violetta Terpeluk on Amazon. You can buy the Kindle version or you can get a paperback version. And then also we have a website called indigoflowbook.com, indigoflowbook.com, that you can go on there, can also download a complimentary chapter, and then you can also download a book companion guide. I created a guide which summarizes the takeaways of each chapter. And then I have some reflective questions for the readers to reflect on. Oh, not just I read a nice book, but what do I do now? What actions can I take? Yeah. And then also my LinkedIn profile. And yeah, and if you go onto my website, there will be some contacting system that you can schedule a clarity call with me if you want to discuss how to implement what is being described and being said in the book.
This has been terrific. I really appreciate you taking the time to share with my audience today. And congratulations on becoming a best-selling author with your book. And I wish you continued success for you and for all of your clients.
Yeah, thanks. Thank you, Mark, for making this simple, easy. This is just my first book. I have many books in my head. I can see myself starting to write the second book, or maybe even more than 2 books.
That was Violetta Terpeluk. She's the best-selling author of Financial Flow. So go ahead and grab this book right now. That's all for now. I'm Mark Imperial. Take care, and we'll see you again next time.